Finally, we are here. We are at the best part of the NFL season after 16, really it should be 17, long and exciting, but also grueling weeks of the NFL season. We're here at the best part, which is the playoffs, and the wild card round is about to begin. And you guys know what that means. That means NFL playoff prediction time, and that's what I'm going to bring you guys right now. Give you guys my predictions for the AFC and the NFC wildcard games. Keep it locked right here at Faiz Sports Talk. Make sure you guys subscribe below and follow me on Twitter. I will be bringing you guys the latest videos as the playoffs progress. But with that being said, let's get started. So I'm going to start with the AFC first, and the reason why is because the games are quite frankly underwhelming and they're probably not going to be good, and I want to save the best for last, which is the NFC game. So my predictions for the NFC will be next. I'm going to do the AFC first, and what I mean by that is Oakland at Houston and Miami at Pittsburgh. So that's one quarterback. That's good, and that's Big Ben Roethlisberger out of 4 teams, because the rest of the quarterbacks, thanks to the injury gods who just decided to mess up the entire season in the last 2 weeks, we are down to now backups and guys who have been benched, essentially. So with that being said, the games still have to be played. So let's get started with the first AFC wildcard game. So I'm going to start here with Oakland at Houston. So the Raiders, in Raider Nation, things are going pretty bad right now because they are down to their 3rd string. Yes, that's right. Connor Cook isn't at quarterback after Matt McGloin went out with, I believe, an injury, and Connor Cook came in. And he played relatively well. He was not horrible. He was not awful. Did not play that bad, as bad as a rookie quarterback is expected to play. So he was decent. But does that mean the Raiders are going anywhere with Connor Cook in the playoffs? I don't believe so. I like the Texans in this matchup. And not just because they brought Brock Osweiler back, because Tom Savage entered the concussion protocol. That's not the reason at all. Even though Brock Osweiler had a decent game, I'm picking this strictly because Houston has found a way to win games all season against subpar to mediocre teams, and that's what the Raiders are now without Derek Carr because of their defense. They are the #1 overall defense just based on passing yards allowed, and even though their offense is horrible, 29th overall, I believe that defense can carry them. Look, when the Raiders lost Derek Carr, they did not just lose their best player. They lost their leader. They lost their heart and soul. Derek Carr made the Raiders go. And without him, I mean, they're ranked as the 6th best offense, but clearly that's because of Derek Carr. They're not that good. And their defense is not good at all. They're 26th, actually. And so that means that Brock Osweiler, as bad as he's been, can still have opportunities to sort of carve up the Raiders' defense because it's essentially non-existent. So by default, I have to pick the Texans, okay? And I'm not happy about that because I don't like the Texans. They're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs, but I'm going to have to pick them to win this round. I have the score somewhere around maybe 17-10, very low scoring in this one. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Dolphins, who have made the playoffs after quite a while, find themselves in a similar predicament as a couple of these other teams here. They are down to their 2nd string quarterback in Matt Moore, but Matt Moore has played relatively well in the games that he has started, and I know Ryan Tannehill is supposed to be back for the playoffs after he sprained his ACL, MCL. Whether that he comes back for the playoffs, I still don't know yet. It's unclear, but I'm assuming Matt Moore will be under center for the wild card game. And if he is, or even if Ryan Tannehill is back, it actually does not change my prediction much because I have the Steelers winning this game. When you look at both teams and you just look at the skill players, I'm talking about Big Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell versus Matt Moore and Ryan Tannehill, J.J. Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker. I don't think it's even close. I like the Steelers in this one. Their offense is way too high-powered, and this Dolphins defense has been underwhelming all season, and they've fallen apart in the last couple weeks. They're ranked 29th overall, and the Steeler defense has been playing pretty well, and they're now up to 15th overall. So I feel like the Steelers defense can also do a number on the Dolphins offense, whereas opposed to earlier in the year where the Steelers team was very offense heavy. But with that being said, I think they can outscore anybody, and they can certainly outscore the Dolphins. And like I mentioned before, they're at home, so their home road splits for Big Ben and company are crazy favorable at home, which gives you even more incentive. Look, you got to bet the big dogs. Go with what works here. I'm going with Big Ben Roethlisberger. I'm going with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I like this score somewhere around 34-21 Steelers. Now let's get to the good stuff. Yes, that's right. The NFC playoffs, NFC wildcard, Detroit Lions at the Seattle Seahawks. So the Lions end up losing to the Packers. Matt Stafford throws the game-ending interception, and they still get to the playoffs. So, you know, what a story. But I don't like the direction they're heading in, and by that I mean the momentum. Matt Stafford has not been the same quarterback since that injury to his hand and that ligament. He has clearly been hobbled. He has not been playing well. It is not the Matt Stafford we saw in the first half of the year when he was an MVP candidate. So for that reason, I'm leaning towards Seattle in this one. Russell Wilson has picked up his play in his last 2 games. I think he's had about 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yes, the defense did give up a lot of points against the 49ers, but I think that was just because it was the last game and they already had a seed locked up after the Falcons had clinched. So I like Seattle in this one. They're at home. It's going to be a ruckus environment. Seattle's one of the toughest places to play in the NFL, and Matt Stafford, who is clearly hobbled, has not been looking right. That defense is going to get after him. Yes, I know they're missing Earl Thomas, but that defense is still legit. And Detroit's defense, on the other hand, is not. So Russell Wilson will have his opportunities. Detroit's defense is ranked just 18th, while the Seahawks are 5th in the NFL. So I like the Seahawks in this one. I do want to see if Theo Riddick will be available for this because he does give them a good shot in this one as well. But overall, I still like the Seahawks. I'm going to pick the score as 30-17 Seattle. And last but certainly not least, the game that I'm most excited about seeing, that's right, the New York Giants at the Green Bay Packers. The Giants go into Lambeau against the hottest team in the NFL and the hottest quarterback in the NFL. Yes, that's right, against Aaron Rodgers, who has played like he probably won the MVP award with 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and ended the season in his last 7 games with 18 touchdowns and 0 picks. Yes, that's right. So I think you guys know where I'm leaning in this one. I like Green Bay. I like their momentum. Rodgers is playing like an MVP right now, and I just feel like within his home turf, against the Giants defense, offense, which is really, I mean, they've been pretty awful this year. They're just 25th overall. The defense has really carried them. Eli Manning has gone into the tank. I like the Packers in this one. I believe Aaron Rodgers is, again, just playing at that MVP level, and with him playing that high, sometimes momentum is enough to carry you. I do think he will have a tougher time against this defense because the Giants' defense is very tough. They're 10th overall, but the Packers' offense is dynamic, 8th overall ranked in the NFL. So I like the Packers in this one, but I will make it a little bit low scoring just because I give the Giants' defense some respect. But this is a straight momentum pick for me. I feel like Green Bay is just on a roll right now, and they are about to shoot into the playoffs and go far after this wild card round. So I have the game Packers 21, Giants 13. So there you have it, folks. My picks for the NFC and the AFC wild card round. And as always, please leave a comment on your thoughts on who will win, or who do you guys like, if you guys agree or disagree. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.